Hi everyone, and welcome back. Today we're going to create a color changing wheel, which is similar to the clockwise green rotation from the last video, but with a larger square which changes color as it rotates. The first thing that we are going to do is to set up the consts at the top of the file main.rs in the source folder. We will change the number of repetitions to 10. Then we will insert a new const of type U32 called size and a value 128, which will make our square 128 pixels in size. We will leave the decay at 4 and the number of frames at 120. Then we will scroll down to the area marked by the comment "To do, put your code here." And the first thing we will do is to calculate how far around the circle we are, which will be familiar to anyone who watched the last video. It's just taking a fraction of pi times 2, which is the fraction of the whole circle we have rotated around during the last frame. We store this in the variable fraction radian. Then we calculate the half width of the screen by dividing the width constant by 2.0. After this, we set offset x, which is the width over 2 plus the sign of the fraction radian variable, multiplied by the half width times 0.8, all cast to an I32, which gives us the x-coordinate around the circular orbit. Then we calculate the half height by dividing height by 2 and casting it as an F32. As with the offset x variable, we now create the offset y, which is the y position of the next square around the circular orbit. We do this by getting height over 2 and then subtracting the cos value of the fraction radian variable multiplied by the height times 0.8. Now we calculate the color values, with red first. It needs to be a U8 value, and we calculate this by taking 100 plus the sign of fraction radians multiplied by 155.0, remembering to cast it to U8 at the end. The range of values will then be between 100 and 255. Green is calculated by taking 255 and subtracting the sign value of fraction radian multiplied by 255, meaning the values will range from 0 to 255. And lastly, the blue component, which will be 255 minus the cos value of fraction radian multiplied by 255. The values for this range will also be from 0 to 255, but out of step with the green because we're using cos instead of sine. Now we draw the square by looping through all possible values of x between 0 and size. And inside that loop, we will loop through all the possible y values between 0 and size. Previously, we did not center the square on the center point of the calculated position, which didn't matter as we only had a small square. However, now we have a large square, so first we have to calculate the half size of the square by dividing the const by 2. Then we calculate the x pos by adding the x position to the x offset and subtracting the half size. And we do the same for the y pos, remembering to use offset y before subtracting the half size. Then, as we did in the green clockwise rotation, we check that the pixel is not out of bounds for the image, which would cause a panic. And finally, we apply the new pixel to the image by calling image.putPixel, passing in the xpos and ypos variables, and the color component by combining the variables we created earlier. Then we open a terminal and run the script run_build.sh, which will launch our Docker build machine and build the code. When that's finished, we can see the output GIF and MP4 are in the data outputs folder. And clicking on the GIF, we can see that our color wheel is now working as expected, changing colors as it orbits the center of the image, leaving a decaying trail in its wake. And the video works as well, showing the same thing. Thanks for joining us today. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel and turn on notifications to get notified when the next video is up. For now though, I'll wish you a good day, hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.